Did we just dodge the biggest bullet in franchise history? Kevin Durant was officially traded to the Houston Rockets, ending weeks of speculation about whether Toronto could land the Slim Reaper. But here's the twist nobody's talking about. This might be the most brilliant non-move Masai has ever made. What's up, Raptors Nation? Quick court here with the Kevin Durant trade news that just rocked the NBA. Durant's heading to Houston for Jalen Green, Dillon Brooks, the 10 pick and 5 second rounders, but what does this mean for us? Were we really serious contenders or just being used for leverage? I've got the inside details on why missing out might actually set us up perfectly for Wednesday's draft. Drop your thoughts below and let's break this down. The Kevin Durant chapter is officially closed, and honestly, I think we just dodged the biggest bullet in franchise history. The Phoenix Suns traded Durant to the Houston Rockets in a deal that sent Jalen Green, Dillon Brooks, the 10th pick in this week's draft, and 5 second-round picks to Phoenix. For weeks, we were all caught up in the speculation about whether Toronto could land a Slim Reaper, but when you break down the numbers and the timeline, this non-trade might be Masai Ujiri's most genius move yet. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, Durant's massive $54.7 million salary. Matching that number would have required us to include Jakob Poeltl's contract, and multiple reports confirmed what we all suspected. The front office was absolutely unwilling to move Poeltl. Think about that for a second. What does that tell us about how they value our Austrian anchor? But here's where it gets really interesting, and this is something most analysts are completely missing. Durant reportedly preferred Houston, Miami, and San Antonio. Notice something? Toronto wasn't even on his preferred destination list. Do we really want to mortgage our future for a player who doesn't even want to be here? That's not championship DNA, that's rental mentality. The alternative was a 3-team trade involving RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickley, but that was always considered a long shot. Here's what nobody's talking about though. Why would we break up the Barrett Quickley connection that's been developing so beautifully? These guys have chemistry, they're hungry, and they're just entering their prime years. Looking at what Houston gave up, it becomes crystal clear that Phoenix was desperate. Jalen Green has poor shot selection and has been outplayed by his entire draft class, including our own Scotty Barnes. Dillon Brooks brings defensive intensity but limited offensive upside. The 10th pick is valuable, but it's not a game changer. 5 second-round picks. That's basically lottery tickets. Here's the reality check nobody wants to admit. Durant turns 37 in September, even averaging 26.6 points last season. Father Time is undefeated. We would have been making an all-in win now move for someone who could very realistically leave after one season or suffer a significant injury. Does that sound like the patient, long-term thinking that brought us a championship in 2019? What's our real situation right now? We're sitting pretty with the 9th pick in Wednesday's draft, and reports suggest we've been extremely active on the trade market. This gives us flexibility that a Durant deal would have completely eliminated. We could package that pick, move up in the draft, or use it to acquire exactly the type of young talent that fits our timeline. And let's talk about Jakob Poeltl for a minute, because his situation is fascinating. He becomes eligible for a contract extension on July 6th. And he's projected to command around $30 million per season. The fact that management refused to include him in any Durant package tells you everything about how they view his importance to our system. A skilled big man who can anchor your defense and facilitate offense. That's invaluable in today's NBA. The bigger picture here is that Toronto remains eager to make a significant move, but they're being smart about it. With Giannis seemingly staying in Milwaukee for now and other superstars locked into their situations, maybe the real play is patience and development. Maybe the real play is letting Scotty Barnes continue his ascension, seeing what we can get in this draft. I'm building something sustainable rather than gambling everything on a short-term fix. Houston got their headline move, and good for them. They're pairing Durant with Alperen Sengun, surrounding them with young talent like Amen Thompson and Jabari Smith Jr. Plus, they still have Fred VanVleet running the point. That's a formidable roster, but it's also a massive financial commitment to an aging superstar. Phoenix, meanwhile, still has massive salary cap issues, no traditional point guard, and a giant hole at center. They failed to get a high-end prospect or lottery pick, which means they're still stuck in basketball purgatory with an expensive, flawed roster. Where does this leave us in a much better position than most people realize? We've got cap flexibility, draft assets, young talent that's still developing, and a front office that clearly has a long-term vision. Sometimes the best move is the move you don't make. And this might be one of those situations. Wednesday's draft becomes absolutely crucial now. Dan Tolzman is scheduled to speak with media about our draft plans, and you can bet they've got something cooking. Whether we're moving up, trading back, or targeting a specific type of player, this draft could define our next few seasons. The Durant saga taught us something important about our front office. They're not going to panic, they're not going to mortgage the future for headlines, and they're not going to make desperate moves just to appease fan pressure. That's championship level thinking, even if it doesn't always feel exciting in the moment. So Raptors Nation, what do you think? Are you disappointed we didn't land Durant, or are you relieved we kept our future flexibility? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's get a real discussion going about where this franchise is headed. If you're loving this type of deep dive analysis and want to stay ahead of every Raptors move, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell, because we've got draft coverage, free agency breakdowns, and summer league analysis coming your way all season long. This is Quick Court, keeping you connected to everything that matters in Raptors Nation. Until next time, keep that championship mentality alive. And remember, sometimes the best trades are the ones you don't make. Peace out, Raptors fam!